many of you, I'm an inventor and have been since I was very young. This is a photo of a reconstruction of my kazoo powerboat I made when I was 7 years old. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, where they breeded inventors because of the automobile boom and bust revolution. Part of the reason it went bust is because too many people tried to extract value from the status quo instead of encouraging innovation, which is weird because growing up in Detroit, they had a complete fixation on inventors. For example, I went to Edison Elementary School, and his lab was lovingly duplicated by a guy named Henry Ford in his museum called Greenfield Village. There are also other inventors and stuff. Their buildings are there. We wrote book reports. We did field studies. We learned about patents, where we learned you can't patent an idea, but you can only patent a method to make a machine. That was awesome. That meant they all got to build on each other, and when we grew up, we could build on their ideas. And of course, the Constitution said that's for the better good of everyone. So in the 70s, I got excited. I learned about computers. I started programming. I could now invent at the speed of thought. I invented multiplayer gaming, message boards, chat systems, and so did a lot of other people. We all built on each other's ideas back then. Pardon me. Then I landed in Lucasfilm Games. I came to California, built real-time shooters and fractals in the 1980s, teamed up with a guy named Chip Morningstar, built the very first virtual world with avatars, scarce objects, and virtual economy. It got ported to Japan in 1989 by Fujitsu. In the 1990s, everything changed about patents because you can now patent ideas in the form of something called a business process. And software was determined to be a business process. So what we had was an explosion in the patent process. Now we have this amazing number of patents. I'll talk a little more about that in a moment, but it affected me directly when Fujitsu wanted to bring Habitat back to the United States. Chip and I worked to help them, and for our trouble, we got presented with a patent application for the virtual world. Fujitsu tried to patent in 1996 what we invented in 1986. Now, this is a problem, so we got ourselves a lawyer, and we learned about something called the hostile inventor. And what you do is you get a bunch of documentation. You say, I can't sign this, it's illegal, and here's why. Look at all the stuff that proves it existed a decade ago. We thought, great, that's done. Then in 2004, I needed a job. I do a vanity search. What do you think I discover? I am the inventor of the virtual world. No. This can't happen. I'm the inventor and I provided documentation. It's dead. And this is the first of hundreds of patents I've come up against since then that were stuff invented before 1995. You know, people say you need patents to protect your company as like a defensive shield. But what it feels like when you're an inventor is you're working in a munitions factory for a war you don't want to fight and for which you are not reasonably remunerated. Now, in intellectual venture, it says, but that's why the US is winning the software war. We have patents. And the head of Google's legal says, no, we were doing just fine in 1995. And besides, in 2011, we spent $29 billion on litigation related to software patents. Okay, I've walked the fence between creating and detesting this system, and it's now biting me in the ass. I recently got a job bid killed because the lawyers at this large company saw my name on patents that I had no control over and decided I was too risky to work on the project in my area of expertise. So now, if you don't create a patent, you're not protecting your company, but if you do, you're signing a non-compete for the future in your own expertise. This is it. It's the straw that broke the camel's back for me. This is why I'm talking today. Yes, I'm pretty mad. You know what? It's mathematically impossible to do software development without violating patents today. It would take 2 million patent attorneys just to keep up with the patents that are coming out for the companies that exist now. We inventors have to do something. So here's what I'm calling it, 4 quick things. 1, support Twitter. They have an initiative to model for companies that they will not use software patents aggressively, and even when they can, they require your explicit permission as an inventor. Get the Software and Patent Office open in the Bay Area. It was scheduled to open, but guess what? They make money with patents, but they sequestered it, so we're not going to get the Patent Office on the only thing that makes money for the government. I don't get it. So, and the third thing is get involved. If you're an inventor of any kind, a software inventor especially, join something, do something, write a blog post, or give some money to the EFF. They specifically represent individual inventors' rights. Also, my call, be excellent to other inventors. Pledge never to sign a bogus patent ever. Your boss can't make you do it because it's illegal. And by the way, he shouldn't. It's just going to cost them more legal money down the road when they get sued. Here are those 4 things with links from the actions that you can take. But I want to leave you with one thought. I don't want the Bay Area to turn out like Detroit, where I grew up, where people extracted too much value from protecting the status quo while squashing innovation. Inventors are what make this valley. Thank you very much.